Love Monster by Rachel Bright. How are you today, my friends? How are you today? I hope that you're okay. I hope you're better than okay. My friends, deep in my heart, I want to say, hope that you're okay today. Did you see what happened? It was right in the middle of the yarn, and did you see how happy my face became? It brings me such joy when I'm in the middle of a particularly tricky bit of yarn and I'm able to unravel it, and it just sort of seamlessly oh, look what we found here. This is the very, very, very end of the yarn. And if I pull, it never, oh my goodness, it never works that way. It stopped. But it worked quite a bit, huh, didn't it? I'd like for you to meet a new friend of mine today. And then we're going to read this wonderful book, Love Monster by Rachel Bright. And my new friend, who has been a bit reticent, do you know what that means? Reticent means quiet. And not completely comfortable hanging out, has a little bit of, you know how we talk about Elephant and Piggy and how Elephant can be very worried and how Mr. Gray can be very worried. And yesterday we talked about how I had this a fear of water to the extent that I didn't learn how to swim for a very long time, and I still am unable to do anything like scuba diving. Well, my friend, Ms. Trich, is nervous in front of cameras. So I'm wondering if you would like to hang out with Ms. Trich and meet Ms. Trich. Ms. Trich spells their name MX. It's such a fun letter to use, a cool letter to use for the Ms. Ms. Oz. And then the Ms. is a Z sound written with an X, and then Oz with an actual Z, Trich. So let me put this down, and we're gonna sit on the floor if that's okay. Oh, you still see me there? Hi. All right, Ms. Trich. Hello. You wanna come up here? Okay. Well, hello, Ms. Trich. How are you today? I'm doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. I noticed that you looked at the camera. I did. And how did you feel about that? Just a little bit nervous. Yeah. We were talking yesterday about how sometimes I feel a little bit nervous. Still around water and even bikes. Bikes? Bikes. What's that? You don't know what a bike is, Miss Trich? No. Well, we can read a story about a bike tomorrow with Pete the cat, okay? But a bike, that's short for the word bicycle, and that means it has two wheels. And you sit on a seat and kind of hold handlebars, and you use these things called pedals, and it makes the two wheels go, and then you can drive forward faster. Oh, that sounds wonderful. It does. Well, it was a bit nervous for me for most of my life. And I was telling our friends that you sometimes feel nervous around larger crowds or with cameras. Yes, but I feel comfortable here, and I appreciate you sitting on the ground with me. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, Ms. Trich. Ms. Trich. It's lovely to have you on. It's lovely to meet you all. And we'll hang out again soon, okay, Ms. Trich? Yes, Mr. Greg. Okay, Miss Trich, I will see you later. I'll see you later. That was pretty cool, right? Ooh, Ms. Trich. Let's read about Love Monster. Yep, ba 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 da da. Yep, ba 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 ba. This is a monster. Hello, monster. Do you see Monster's face? How do you think that looks? He has a beautiful purple heart, but he seems perhaps a bit sad. There might be a reason. I think you'll agree, he's a little bit interesting looking, to say the least. I don't know about that, book. I kind of feel that this monster is really awesome. Well, I suppose interesting, but... here we go. He lives in a world of cute, fluffy things, which makes being interesting looking pretty darn hard. I get it. See, this really awesome love monster lives in a world with things that are considered cute and fluffy. Although again, I would argue, would you not, that, ooh, come on, get in focus. Love monster is pretty cute as well. You might have noticed that everybody loves kittens and puppies and bunnies. You know, cute, fluffy things. But nobody loves a slightly hairy, I suppose a bit googly-eyed monster. Oh, these children seem to be a bit afraid. Poor monster, that's right. We can see right there that he's just interesting and different looking than what they're used to seeing. Oh boy, what's gonna happen here? Now this might be enough to make a monster feel, well, a bit down in the dumps, absolutely. But not being the moping around sort, he decided to set out and look for someone who'd love him, just the way he was. Well, monster, I'll tell you, you found me, and you found us, and you found me, even Miss Trich. Particularly Miss Trich. He looked high. He looked low. Oh, he looked middle-ish. That's a tumbleweed. That's a funny joke. It's a middle-ish. You've got high, low, middle-ish. He looked inside. He looked outside. He is adorable. More than once, he thought that maybe, just maybe, he'd found what he was looking for. And in this case, it's his reflection in the water. And in this case, it's his shadow. And in this case, this shop is called Not Cute Fancy Dress Shop. And I don't know, but there is cuteness there. Boy, this book's definition of cuteness is short, interesting itself, don't you think? Yes, it would be fair to say that his search did not go well. And then it didn't go well some more. They have a cloud and it's raining because for some reason, no one is recognizing what we're all recognizing. Look at this. It didn't go so well for so long that it began to get dark and scary and not very nice. Love Monster does not like the dark sky. So the monster, having lost all of his oomph, decided it was time to give up and go home. But in the blink of a googly eye, he met a bus driver. Oh, so cute. Everything changed. And sometimes, when you least expect it, love finds you. And those illustrations were very beautiful. There is one thing that I would only disagree with some of the book about, and I want to have this conversation with you. And that is that, this monster is so absolutely cute to me. And that's, remember, we talked before about perspective. how the word, I think we were reading about creatures that saw tall creatures, but then creatures who were smaller than the creatures that were looking at the small creatures thought the small creatures were tall creatures, and the tall creatures saw even larger creatures. It's all very relative. And so this was a story about a place where a particular creature who was unique from many of the other creatures wasn't really understood or accepted. And eventually, this particular monster, this love monster, finds a very similar love monster. And I wonder if as our love monsters continue to become closer friends, if they would go back and have conversations with all of the other creatures and children, to see if they could perhaps find the real beauty and uniqueness in such a beautiful and unique creature as Love Monster. What do you think, Ms. Trich? I think you're absolutely correct, Mr. Greg. Yeah. Well, I love you. I love you more than I love the monster, because of course the Love Monster is in a book. But I love Love Monster, and I love you. You're a real person looking at me. And I love you, Miss Trich, and I love you, Mr. Squirrel, Mr. Red Squirrel, and I love you, Perry. Love you too, Greg. And of course, our friend the Robin. Oh, Mr. Robin. Ms. Trich came out today. Isn't that so cool? Yeah, I know. Ms. Trich rarely comes out. Right. No, they totally were comfortable in front of the camera today. And yeah, yes, I got down. That's very important. I always forget that. Sometimes I sort of ask Ms. Trich to come up here, and I realize that they sometimes feel that's a real imposition, or it's embarrassed. Yes. And it's easier to be down. Thank you, Robin. I'll listen to you from now on. Okay. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.